Welcome to Mysteries to Die For and this toe tag. I am TG Wolff and I'm here with Jack, my piano player and producer. This is normally a podcast where we combine storytelling with original music to put you at the heart of a mystery. Today is a bonus episode that we call a toe tag. It's the first chapter from a fresh release in the mystery, crime, and thriller genre. And today's featured release is Deadly Vision by T.D. Severin. Okay, so let me give you a little intro. Deadly Vision is a medical thriller, so Dr. Taylor Abrams is onto something. Using virtual reality, he is working to solve heart conditions from the inside out. But not everyone is thrilled with the innovation. To those entrenched in the old ways and who use healthcare as a political platform, what Abrams is doing is a catastrophe, one that needs to be stopped. So bottom line, Deadly Vision is for you if you like your tensions high, your thrills intellectual, and your heroes genuine. All right, so let's jump in. Ahead of the first chapter, there is a prologue. We're not going to do that, but we are going to read what is a short newspaper clip that intros the first chapter. Stunning research offers new vision on heart disease. Researchers at San Francisco University announced the development of a revolutionary new treatment for heart disease. Employing high-resolution MRI scans with real-time digital ultrasound, doctors will transport themselves into the virtual world of the beating human heart. There they will perform life-saving surgery entirely within the realm of virtual reality. With virtual reality, said Dr. Taylor Abrams, lead researcher for the Virtual Heart Project, I'll be able to see inside the human heart, seeing the ventricles contract, hearing the heart valve snap and the blood surges down the coronary arteries. As I move through the virtual heart, my movements will be translated to micro-robotic lasers, surgically placed inside the patient's real artery. These micro-lasers will follow my movements exactly to the plaque blocking the artery and obliterate it. Restoring blood flow, we'll be able to heal the heart entirely within the realm of virtual reality. This will forever change how we treat heart disease. Not everyone was supportive of the new technology. Senator Randolph Henry McIntyre, the Republican presidential nominee, has campaigned rigorously against medical hypertechnology as, quote, dangerous and prohibitively expensive, unquote. Despite these attacks, Dr. Abrams remains optimistic. Medicine is about to enter an era of computerized reality, and I doubt it will ever be the same again, unquote. The Washington Post Special Technology Review. Chapter 1, Thursday, October 11th, 5:21 p.m. When Dr. Taylor Abrams arrived at the nursing desk at San Francisco University Hospital Emergency Room, he had no way of knowing that his life would never be the same again. Reaching the tail end of a 24-hour shift, it had been one hell of a day, made more complicated by the hospital's insistence that he squeeze a press conference in amongst his daily barrage of ER patients. Speaking on the latest advances in his research, the Virtual Heart Project, the conference had gone well, the networks and newspapers devouring the story about artificial intelligence and robot medicine. But at that moment, Taylor didn't care. After another brutal shift in the ER and then the hospital show and tell, all he wanted were a few precious moments of sleep. Sweet, beautiful sleep. Unfortunately, that wasn't going to happen. SFU Hospital reigned as the major trauma center for the San Francisco area. A busy Thursday night brought 17 to 20 Priority 1 trauma cases through the electric ER doors. Gunshot wounds, motor vehicle accidents, and gangbangers, drugs and drug addicts. This Thursday was no exception. Taylor, still dressed for the news conference in his off-the-rack suit and pretend red power tie, made his way past the line of loaded gurneys toward the nursing desk. 6 red lights flashed above the main board, indicating new arrivals. A young mother calmed the cries of her bleeding child in the waiting area, while 2 drunks battled to be next in line for admission. An ambulance team raced by, heading towards the exit in another load. The air reeked of antiseptic, urine, and the sourness of unbathed human skin. Mary, the 20-year-old veteran head nurse, a black woman with coppery complexion, red hair, and freckles, sat behind the counter. She scribbled orders into a patient chart with one hand while she pointed directions to a nurse with the other. 8 charts lay sprayed across her desk. The telephone was glued to her ear. "What do you think I'm talking about? We ordered 80 milligrams of gentamicin 4, and you sent us a piggyback with 800 milligrams in it. What are we supposed to do with that? Blow out the kidneys of every damn patient in here? Get me the proper order, and I mean now, as in yesterday." Mary slammed the phone down. "Amy, get that IV started in room 6. Jean, check the head wound in room 8. And somebody call the lab. I've got 10 tubes of blood here." People scurried in all directions. "Another quiet night?" Taylor asked. Mary looked up, the tension in her eyes relaxing just a bit when she saw Taylor. "Just another night," she said, a wry smile forming her lips. "But it's always a pleasure to see you here, all dolled up in your Sunday best, like you were just still on TV." Taylor blushed, knowing his $250 no-name suit was hardly an Armani. "Don't tell me you saw the news conference." "Hell yes," Mary smiled. "We had every TV in the ER broadcasting your pretty face. You think we're going to ignore it when CNN comes to our little hospital? It isn't often we get a glimmer of hope here. You're our big chance." Taylor pulled on his collar, loosening his tie. He thought that he'd be used to all the attention by now, but that wasn't going to happen. Ever since the hospital made a grand announcement of the virtual heart project, the media had descended upon him like a locust on a cornfield, besieging him with requests to appear on talk shows, Good Morning America, Cuomo, 60 Minutes, to discuss the future of, quote, robot medicine. He would have been a natural, too. His dark hair, penetrating brown eyes, and broad-shouldered frame were perfectly suited for television. But characteristically, he refused to take their calls. None of the awards or fanfare mattered to him. Even this early in his medical career, Taylor had seen too many scientists get caught up in the media game. No matter how much coverage he got from popular press, in the world of academic medicine, he was only as good as his last paper. No amount of television exposure was going to help him realize his dream. Mary looked at her watch. "What brings you back? I thought you just finished a 24-hour this afternoon." Taylor was grateful for the change of subject. "Nancy's out sick. I wanted to see how things were running without her." "You're off duty and you're still worried about the ER?" "This place is my responsibility," he said. Mary raised her eyebrows. "The last several chiefs couldn't get out of here fast enough. You couldn't even see them sprinting for the door, just feel the breeze in their wake." "Not my style." "I can see that," Mary smiled. "But you're doing fine. Go home." "We're doing fine. Go home. I'm sure your wife's not too happy about your work habits." Taylor rubbed his eyes and looked at the clock behind the desk, coming up on 5:30. He'd been at the hospital for nearly 34 hours straight. He'd meant to get home to Cheryl Lynn early that night, grab a nice dinner, a glass of red, and just relax together. It seemed like forever since they'd had some time together, alone, without beepers or cell phones or interruptions. But with his ER shifts, his VHP research, the news conference, you might say that's a sore point. Mary nodded. "I imagine. Go home to her now. We're doing okay here." "I'll wait," he said. "I heard there's a bad trauma heading in. I'll get Peter to take it." Taylor stuck his thumb toward the main admissions board. "He's tied up with a GI bleeder." Mary squinted in agreement, but shook her head. "We'll handle it. You're not supposed to be here. Go home." Suddenly, the cacophony of beeping monitors and shouting voices burst through the double glass doors, the entranceway, as paramedics rushed the fresh trauma victim down the main corridor. Running alongside the gurney, one paramedic held down the patient's convulsing legs while his partner pressed the dressing against the wounded man's chest with one hand, squeezing an ambubag ventilator with the other. Blood soaked through the bandage, seeping onto the gurney. The paramedic's eyes glared with panic. "We need a doc here, now!" Taylor glanced at Mary and gave her a wink. "Duty calls." He grabbed the stethoscope off the nursing counter before she could stop him and sprinted towards the gurney. "What have we got?" Taylor asked. "A mess," the paramedic said, panic in his eyes. "Home invasion robbery, gunshots, chest and abdomen. We did everything we could just to get him this far. I don't know how he's still alive." Taylor leaned forward, his eyes scanning, triaging the extent of the trauma. Beneath the pallor and shock, Taylor could make out the man's rounded features, distinctly Asian. and young, no more than 30. Taylor's pulse began to race and fatigue melting away as adrenaline shot through his vein. "Do we have a name?" he asked. The paramedic hesitated. "A name," Taylor repeated. "Do we have a name?" It's Chan, Robert Chan." "I'm taking over." Taylor shifted his gaze to the waiting nurses. "Shock room 1. Prepare for immediate intubation. Give me 2 16-gauge IVs, lacetated ringers wide open. Type and cross for 6 units of blood, and cardiothoracic surgery. Stat." The ER team responded in unison, rushing Chan to the shock room and prepping for resus. Cardiac monitors, oxygen saturation computers, and electronic defibrillators pumped out vital data on Chan's cardiovascular and respiratory status. Respiratory therapists readied their ventilator by a row of green oxygen tanks. Nurses ripped open packages of surgical instruments, lining them up on a sterile tray. Discarded sterile wrappers and excess tubing littered the gleaming white floor. The team moved with a choreographed precision, like dancers in a macabre ballet. "Hang in there, Mr. Chan," Taylor said. Mary rushed to Taylor's side and began inserting an IV. An assistant nurse catheterized Chan's bladder while the pharmacist readied the shock cart on medicines. Taylor positioned himself at the head of the table and took stock of the situation. He snapped on a pair of latex gloves, grabbed an overhead light, and pulled it into position, peering down at the bloody mess that was his patient. He'd seen many gunshots in his years as an ER resident, but nothing like this. Chan was bleeding from everywhere. Every wound, every orifice, seemingly every pore. Gaping holes of torn flesh bore through his abdomen. And from the size of the exit wounds, Taylor knew that the bullets used hadn't been standard-issued rounds. These were hollow points. Something struck Taylor as being terribly wrong. He'd been in the ER long enough to earn his badge of honor in the Knife and Gun Club of inner-city San Francisco, and the one thing he learned was that hollow points weren't used to commit random crimes. They were too expensive, too unpredictable. Crimes were committed with 38s and 22s. Hollow points were used when you wanted someone dead. Taylor filed that information away. Leaning over, he probed the man's chest. The gurgling sounds of Chan's gasping filled the room. "We need airway stabilization," he yelled. Mary responded instantly, thrusting a fiber optic scope into his hands. Taylor snatched it and peered down Chan's throat, searching for an opening into his lungs. The oral passage was filled with blood. Taylor swept his finger into Chan's mouth, fishing out the clots while he searched for the white flesh of the glottis, the opening to the trachea. Finding it, he slid the breathing tube into Chan's throat and hooked it onto the ambu bag. Immediately, the nurse began pumping air into the wounded lungs. Taylor's eyes darted up from his bleeding patient. The EKG monitor beeped out Chan's uncertain pulse. The IVs were running. Blood was on the way. "Vitals?" he called out. Mary glared at the monitors. "Blood pressure's dropping, 90/45. Pulse weak and thready." Chan's heart wasn't beating strongly enough to hold a pulse. "Ephedrine now," Taylor ordered. 10 milliliters bolus. Mary grabbed the syringe and quickly injected the medicine into the IV. "It's in." "Vitals?" Taylor asked again. "No good." Mary's voice edged with urgency. "Blood pressure still failing. We got VTAC." Taylor's eyes shot to the monitor, studying the erratic, irregular beating of the heart. Ventricular tachycardia. The EKG alarm screamed in his ears. "Damn it! He's bleeding out on us! Where's the blood?" "On its way, 6 units." "Not enough! Get 6 more! Repeat epi and prepare the lidocaine bolus." "Epi's in." Mary pulled the needle away from the IV. "It's not working. BP's still falling. 70/35. "I can't ventilate him," a nurse yelled, struggling to compress the manual ventilator bag. "There's too much resistance." "Must be a hemothorax," Taylor swore under his breath. Experience told him that blood had flooded into the membranes lining Chan's lungs, impairing their ability to expand. He had to get the blood out, or else it'd make ventilation impossible. "We've got to get him open," Taylor ordered. "Get a chest tube. Keep the ringer's lactates wide open. Repeat epi, now." Chan's body convulsed on the gurney, flailing out in spasm. The paramedics tightened their grip on his quivering legs while Taylor grappled with the scalpel and stabbed an incision into the side of Chen's chest by the 5th rib. Using the hemostat, he pried the wound open, separating the muscle from the lining of the lung. "Tube," he called. Mary thrust a thick plastic tube into Taylor's hand, clamping it with the hemostat. He forced the tube into the space between Chan's chest wall and his lungs. Instantly, a rush of blood shot down the tube and into the plastic collecting compartment. Taylor shook the blood off his hands and onto the splattering floor. "Vitals? BP's still falling. 60 over palp," Mary yelled back. Taylor shot a glance. The cardiac monitor showed ventricular defibrillation, the last dying beats of a critically wounded heart. "We're losing him," Mary yelled. "Start CPR." Taylor tore off the remains of Chan's shirt. "Defibrillator on full charge." A nervous silence ran through the shock room. "CPR now," he yelled again. I can't." Mary hesitated, her eyes wide, her voice stuttering. "There's no chest wall to compress." Taylor stopped and glared at his patient. She was right. The chest wall was shattered, his ribs and sternum bisected. All Taylor could see were the heavy strain of dying lungs. Flatline. "He's going," Mary yelled. Taylor pounced on the gurney. Without hesitation, he straddled the dying man, spread his shattered ribs, and thrust his hands into the open chest cavity. The biting aroma of blood rushed into his nostrils, and he snorted to clear his lungs. He stumbled for a moment, his hands groping amid the wetness, until he felt the firm, muscular mass that was his patient's heart. He grasped it with both hands, squeezing it, forcing the dying myocardium to send the blood to the brain. He opened his hands to allow blood to refill the ventricles, then squeezed again. Open, squeeze, open, squeeze. "Repeat epi now," he yelled. "Get amiodarone ready and keep ventilating him. For God's sakes, keep ventilating him." The nurses scattered to fill the orders. Sweat matted Taylor's shirt to his back. He glared down into the vacant eyes of his patient. "Hang in there, Mr. Chan," he panted, squeezing Chan's dying heart in his hands. "I'll do this all night if I have to. All night." Blood splashed across Taylor's hands. Open, squeeze. Open, squeeze. All right, that is the first chapter of Deadly Vision by T.D. Severin. I apologize for botching some of those medical terms. I did look them up and I did practice them, but you still stumble. So, if you didn't figure this out, this is a medical thriller. The strength of the story really is the brilliant structure. Time and time again, the chapters brought me to the edge of my couch cushion, nibbling on my fingernails. Dinners were late and bedtimes were missed as I couldn't leave Taylor and his friends. Tensions, both medical and physical, were very well crafted, and especially appreciated by this reader who has an active imagination, and yeah, I could feel the things. Taylor Abrams isn't a traditional hero, one who knows he's under fire and fights back. Instead, this brilliant doctor is really more of an everyday hero. He is struggling to stay on his chosen path while fending off things that he doesn't understand. Standing at the end and looking to the front, yes, I have questions. Taylor and the actions of the bad guys are strong and consistent, and my questions tend to relate more to events that led up to the start of this book. The action of Taylor, his wife, his IT geek collaborator, and his genius biomedical engineer, they're all very well developed characters who are true to their nature. The same could be said for the bad guys in this one. It's another one of those books where you might not like the bad guys, but you can't say that they aren't done well. Severin did an excellent job of making the medical elements approachable for readers, and I hope you got a little bit of that in this first chapter, even with my tripping over some words. So for those who know and enjoy medicine, there are details in here. But for those of us who don't, these details are wrapped in the big picture that allows novices like me to understand what is being meant and why it matters. So you really got that in this first chapter. Like, obviously we are trying to save Mr. Chan's life. Do you need to understand the exact details of what was happening in that ER? No, that's not sort of the purpose of running into it. But for those who really love medical dramas or who are in the field and understand the medical, TD Severin is a surgeon, and so I think you'll find a lot in here that speaks personally to you, and a lot to walk away with. Overall, I really did enjoy Deadly Vision. I cheered for Taylor. I laughed at the unexpected wisps of humor. Forever when I see a Nestle Crunch Bar, I will think of this story. And at times I was afraid to turn the page, and that is really a sign of really excellent thriller and tension writing. I highly recommend Deadly Vision for readers who love their thrills intellectual and who really really enjoy the tension being high. So Deadly Vision was released from Penmore Press and is promoted by Partners in Crime Tour. It's available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other online book retailers. So allow me to introduce our author. TD Severin, MD, is a physician surgeon and a professor of medicine. He has been publishing fiction and nonfiction since 1994. Sorry. He has been named one of the nation's best, I guess I should have practiced this word, nation's best ophthalmologists. Yeah, that's why I'm an engineer. And has been honored with the prestigious Telly Award for his work on medical television programming. His vision, oh my goodness. And this is why we do these live, so that you can laugh when I read two lines at the same time. His writing has appeared in magazines and journals around the world, and his first novel, Deadly Vision, winning multiple awards. TD has trekked across Tibet, scaled Mount Everest, scuba dove the Great Barrier Reef, whitewater rafted through the Australian rainforest, and delved into the mysterious ancient history, all of which makes its way into his writing. Also a former radio DJ, he runs a heavy rock label, Ripple Music, that you can find at ripplemusic.com. That link is in the show notes. TD lives with his wife and two pups in the San Francisco Bay Area. All right, so wondering what to read after you finish Deadly Vision? Partners in Crime Tours is your ultimate destination for all things mystery, crime, thriller, and cozy. Since 2011, they've been working to fill bookshelves with gripping and heart-pounding reads. Discover new mystery series and connect with other fans with Partners in Crime. Look up Partners in Crime Tours on the web or your favorite social media. And authors, whether you're looking to promote your latest thriller, discover a new mystery series, or connect with fellow fans of the genre, PICT has you covered. Check out their promotion options that come with the personal attention of a dedicated coordinator. And finally, join us next week for Season 9, Stuff That Can Kill You. Melinda Di Lorenzo joins the morgue and brings her brand of mystery with Gen X, where chemical is our sticky means of murder. All right, Jack, take us out.